Number 9. Once your relationships with others have suffered due to stress, is a sign that shows that you might be burned out, but not lazy. In most cases, the answer is yes. But if your relationships are still strong, then there may not be a cause for concern. The best way to avoid burnout is to set boundaries and stick to them. Stress is a word that is thrown around often these days. Whether it be personal or professional, it can be an ever-looming threat, putting a strain on all aspects of life. However, the more pressure and tension there is on one's life, the more likely they are to burn out. Number 8. When your productivity has decreased significantly over time, is a sign that you might be burned out, but not lazy. It is common for people to feel as if their productivity has decreased over time. When this happens, it can be a sign that you might be burned out, or that your job or daily routine is getting in the way of your mental and physical health. This video discusses the importance of taking breaks, maintaining a healthy work-to-life balance, and using exercise to stay motivated. Number 7. If your work-to-life balance has changed for the worse, it is a sign that shows that you might be burned out, but not lazy. The American Psychological Association defines burnout as a state of emotional exhaustion, in which the individual's ability to think, feel, and behave creatively is impaired. This can be devastating for those who are burned out. The most common symptoms are constant feelings of being overwhelmed, depressed, or anxious. Being burnt out is a sign that you might be struggling with work-to-life balance. If your work-to-life balance has changed for the worse, it's a sign that you might be struggling with your role and responsibilities at home. Changing your mindset about time will help you to regain your balance. Number 6. When you find yourself spending more time thinking about work than actually working, is a sign that shows you might be burned out, but not lazy. When it comes to work, the first thing people typically think of is stress, frustration, and loneliness. It is a given that these feelings can take their toll on any individual. However, when you find yourself spending more time thinking about work than actually working, it might be time to consider that you are not lazy, but burnt out. When you find yourself spending more time thinking about work than actually working, it may be a sign that you are burnt out and not lazy. In order to avoid this vicious cycle and make life easier, try to limit your work hours. Number 5. You are burned out, but not lazy, when your job is taking a toll on your mental health and well-being. According to a recent survey, more than 1 in 3 Americans suffer from burnout. While the causes of burnout are varied, many people find that their job is taking a toll on their mental health and well-being. A study conducted by the American Psychological Association revealed that a majority of employees would gladly change jobs for one that starts off with more personal fulfillment. If you're feeling burnt out but not lazy, then it's time to switch up your career. Number 4. In case you're struggling with time management, it is a sign that you might be burned out but not lazy. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's not because you're lazy. It's a sign that you might be struggling with time management and need to take a break. There are many different ways to reclaim your time, such as scheduling breaks throughout the day, or taking part in physical activities, like walking or gardening. Many people struggle with time management. It can be a sign that you're burned out but not lazy. There are ways to work smarter and not harder. Number 3. When you have no interest in your own work or projects anymore, is a sign that shows you might be burned out but not lazy. When we're burned out, it's harder to work and progress. It might be time to take a break, recharge, and re-energize. But before you give up on your passion project completely, make sure you're not just reaching burnout because of something else going on in your life. When you're burnt out, and your motivation starts to wane, it's a sign that you might be struggling with depression or anxiety. It's important to treat these conditions so that you can keep working and put your best effort into your work. Number 2. Another sign that shows you might be burnt out but not lazy is when you feel like you have no energy or a lack of motivation. Many people work long hours and don't have time to push themselves because they are overworked. But this can also be a sign that you're burnt out. When you're burnt out, you find it difficult to motivate yourself, even if the tasks are easy. If you are feeling this way, it's a clear sign that you might be burnt out and not lazy. You need to take a step back and reassess your workflow by finding out what your biggest priorities are. Number 1. When you cannot find the motivation to do anything, is a sign that shows that you might be burned out but not lazy. When you are burnt out, it can seem impossible to get motivated. Lazy is a strong word, and everyone has the right to be lazy if they so choose. But when a person is feeling too exhausted and unmotivated to get up and do anything, they might need help finding motivation. When you cannot find the motivation to do anything, you might have been burned out but not lazy. It is important to recognize when your mood is affecting your motivation and adjust accordingly.